So in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about the 7 things that vanish after the age of 50. And believe me, there are lots more things that vanish. But these, for me, in my life, these have been the primary 7 things that are no longer part of my life. So we'll get into it. Now it blends science, ancient wisdom, and a touch of that cosmic ordering, which I'm a big believer in. So you wake up one day in your 50s, and you'll find that your hangovers will last way more than 3 days. Your patience is very much on a timer, and your eyebrows, they feel like they're starting to grow off of your face. Things start happening once you get into your 50s that you can't account for. So let me talk about these 7 things that mysteriously vanish from your life once you hit 50. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Whether you're 50, almost 50, or just curious, this might just shift how you see the second half of your life playing out. Number 1 on the list, and to kick things off, is your need to please everyone goes. And it's one of the first things to disappear after 50, if I'm honest. Well, it certainly was in my life. You know, that exhausting need to please everyone. But it's not because you become rude. You literally just become real. When you're younger, you're constantly tuning your personality, a bit like a human Spotify playlist. One track for the boss, one for the in-laws, one for that WhatsApp group that you're part of. You're constantly changing depending on who you're speaking to. And it's tiring, it becomes exhausting. You no longer feel the need to be doing that. So after 50, you literally just stop. And it's not because you don't care, it's because your time becomes a lot more precious to you than your reputation does. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. And by 50, you finally give yourself that permission. The number 2 thing that vanishes from your life after 50 are hangovers that just go away after one sleep. Now, I don't know about you, but I personally, when I have a hangover now from alcohol induced, it tends to last 2 to 3 days. I just can't get rid of it. But do you remember when you could go out, drink 7 pints, sleep for 4 hours, and then wake up ready to play 5-a-side or do a shift at work absolutely fine? Yeah? That vanishes. Now, 1 glass of red wine and you're Googling liver cleanse by 7 a.m. the next morning. But here's the thing, maybe this is your body's way of nudging you towards a more healthier and intentional way of living. A study by the British Medical Journal found that by age 50, people become far more sensitive to physiological stresses, which bizarrely makes them better at detecting what's not serving them. So in your 50s, less tequila, a lot more tap water, preferably with some lemon, from a nice glass. Act like a grown-up. Number 3 of the 7, that fear of being weird goes. And you can thank the universe for that. You'll find yourself doing things like talking to birds, doing yoga in your boxer shorts, and starting a YouTube channel in your 50s, trying to offer some advice, thinking that other people care and are going to watch. The 50s are the age where your inner weirdo finally takes the wheel. And instead of resisting, you go along for the ride. You dress up the dashboard. You just go with it. As Carl Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. So with that said, welcome to the decade of privilege. Number 4, and it's a big rest in peace to your metabolism, I'm afraid. Well, certainly I've found this to be the case. Now in your 30s, you could eat a pizza, chips, anything you wanted at midnight after a night out consuming 3 or 4 beers, and you'd wake up the next morning still feeling like a Greek god. Now you literally smell a croissant and you gain 3 pounds. And it's not your imagination either. Research shows that your basic metabolic rate drops by 1 to 2% per decade after the age of 40. But instead of panicking, just reframe it, because your body is just asking for a little bit more care and attention from you. More protein, more getting your steps in, more healthy exercise, more sleep, less scrolling, and less beige food. And honestly, why not just try and aim to feel like 30, even though you are in your 50s, even if the rest of your body and your joints completely disagrees? Number 5 on this list of the 7 things that vanish from your life once you're in your 50s is your tolerance for bullshit goes. You can no longer tolerate bullshitters, basically. You literally become a ninja at sniffing out nonsense. Whether it's in emails, small talk, or just people who just drain your soul like, as I said previously, emotional vampires. And it's not even a case of ghosting people. You just decide to just vanish from the drama like some kind of a 90s magician. You start protecting your peace like it's your own personal PIN number. And this is ancient wisdom in action. The Bhagavad Gita says, detachment is not that you should own nothing, but that nothing should own you. You now detach from things that used to bother you, and you know what? It feels glorious. It really does. Number 5 is the illusion of endless time. That goes as well, sadly. Now this one really does hit different. At 30, you plan it all and you think you can do it later. At 50, you realize later means you're going to need a schedule. But for me personally, here's where the cosmic ordering service that I'm a big believer in can be handy and comes in. You don't panic, you just quite literally get intentional with your life. I remember writing down a wild wish during a new moon ritual. And yes, I do those things now. Don't judge. I asked the universe for clarity, purpose, and a fresh challenge. A week later, I launched a project that I'd been planning for quite literally a year. Coincidence? Maybe. But ask and trust the process and see how you get on. The universe responds to your vibration, not just your vocabulary. Now that was an unknown quote, but it's probably somebody who's got a dream catcher in the car, I would have thought. You write it, you visualize it, and you trust it. And then you take the next imperfect step. And finally, on my list of 7 things that vanish in your 50s, you no longer have any shame about resting. This is a big one. You stop feeling guilty for resting, for slowing down, for literally doing nothing and calling it self-care. Rest in your 50s is not a reward, it's a requirement. And it's also a skill, as I've mentioned previously. A Harvard study showed that people over 50 who consistently got good rest, good sleep patterns, and regularly rested had better mood, better memory, and longevity. Yes, so those naps are not lazy. You are practicing some elite biohacking. And if anybody gives you grief for just lying on a sunbed on holiday in Tenerife, just being present and being you, tell them that your mitochondria demanded it. So yes, things do vanish from your life once you get into your 50s. But maybe they were never yours to carry in the first place. What replaces them? Clarity, confidence, and a solid appreciation for non-iron linen shirts and early nights. The world doesn't shrink after 50, it sharpens. You finally see what matters, who matters, and you don't waste time on things or people that don't. So you're not declining, you're distilling. So I'm going to finish here with a cosmic ordering reminder. If you don't ask, the answer will always be no. So start asking. Send those questions out into the universe. Be intentional and ask with clarity. So ask big, not for more years, but for more life in your years. If any of these 7 points mean anything to you today, let me know what you think about them in the comments. I'd like to know if you have anything that you've also let go of once you've got into your 50s. This is not an exhaustive list. This is just my personal experiences of the things that I no longer have in my life. So remember, it's not about getting old in life. It's about becoming free. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, you might want to watch this video next on the 7 things to stop doing in your 50s and have more fun. Keep wondering, and I'll see you on my next video.